Oh, there it goes.
Hello, hello. This is Alex Durante and my partner, Mr. Dustin Coomer from MVP. We're excited to be here with everybody today. We are excited to talk about accelerating into 2025. But first, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy Holidays. Whatever it is you celebrate, I hope you are having a wonderful holiday season. I know I celebrated Christmas yesterday. It was wonderful. It was also the start of Hanukkah. We celebrate that in my family as well. Incredible time of year. Incredible time of year. A lot of people are starting to relax and, the holiday season. We eat a little extra cookie. We, have another beverage. We seem to forget that 2025 is right around the corner. And that's what me and my man, Mr. Coomer, are here to talk to you about today is accelerating into 2025. And the session we're going to have today, these are timeless principles. Okay. We're going to be taking some principles from one of my personal favorite books mixed with the years and years of education that Dustin and I have both gone through, getting certified through different things. And really what we're going to focus about today, guys, is we're going to focus on desire, vision, and goal setting. And so the reason we're going to talk about those three is because that's really the trinity to reach what you want to reach. You can call it goal, you can call it a desire, a destination, right? But if you want to go from where you are to where you want to be, those are the three things that you really need. And so we're going to start off, we're going to talk about those three things, but we're going to start off by talking about desire. And I'm going to bring in Dustin here in just a second because he is a master of desire. He's going to share, I'm not going to get too into it, but I hope that Dustin's going to share a story that he shared with me that was, it was really inspiring and it really demonstrated this principle of desire. So Dustin, if you don't mind, let's get started with section 1 and let's just go ahead and get into a burning desire. And if you can go ahead and talk about why it matters. Why does desire really matter?
Right. So let's start by understanding the difference between a wish and a burning desire, right? A wish is passive, like hoping for something to happen without taking any action. A burning desire, however, is active. It's a state of mind that says, no matter what, I will achieve this, right? It's something that you just like set in stone, like make a decision to do, but it has to be strong enough to kind of like propel you forward to overcome a lot of other things. You know what I mean? So Alex, what I would say is, let's
really absolutely. I mean,
it's the nitty gritty of that.
Absolutely. I mean, I think of a burning desire is like the spark to the fire, right? The desire is that fire, right? But then in order to get that, you need a spark. In order to have any fire, you need a spark. You need a source of energy, right? And I mean, you can take from this book 500 of the most wealthy people. These are timeless principles from Think and Grow Rich. They all had a goal. Everyone that's achieved greatness in life, whatever it is, whatever their version of success is, they've always had a goal. And through constant action and that unwavering faith towards that goal, you can really achieve anything. And we're going to get into that today. We're going to talk about, goal cards and all that stuff. But yeah, Dustin, I'm excited to jump into accelerating into 25. So go ahead and keep us going on desire.
Yeah, I mean, it's critical, right? It's a burning desire, like eliminates doubt and fear. When your desires are strong enough, it overrides any obstacle in your path. You stop asking, can I do this? And you start saying, I will do this. I can do this. I'm going to do this. And this level of intensity pushes people to achieve other things that, the masses call impossible. So you have to have that. You have to have that.
Yeah. No, I mean, you just reminded me of an example, right? That we're, I'm a big follower of Think and Grow Rich. I got certified under Bob Proctor in a program with these 13 principles. So I'm going to reference to this book quite a bit. But you talk about like the obstacles and like eliminating doubt and fear. Some of the people that use desire to do this, and Dustin, I'm hoping in a second you can share, that personal story that you shared with me. I'll pass it back over to you in just a second. But I mean, you're talking about people like Henry Ford. Okay. He was poor and uneducated. What was his desire? A horseless carriage. A horseless carriage. That was his desire. It wasn't a car. It was a horseless carriage. How about Thomas Edison? Right? He dreamed that the lamp could operate by electricity. He didn't dream of the light bulb. He dreamed that the lamp that was already in existence could be operated, but he got to the light bulb, right? I mean, the examples are countless. You think of, Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, his desire was to unite the country and free the slaves. He barely died to see that happen. He died just short of seeing that happen, right? I love this quote. The oak sleeps in the acorn. The bird waits in the egg. And in the highest vision of the soul, a waking angel stirs. Dreams are the seedlings of reality. And those are those desires. So Dustin, if you can, I really would love for you to share that story, because I think it's one of the most incredible stories about a person having desire and how you, with your skills, really help them just overcome what they could always do, but you had the tools to help them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do love this story. I highly respect this person. I love him dearly. I won't mention his name. He may even be watching this right now, but I do want to share his story because it is a great example of what desire can really propel you to do. And in this particular case, somebody that I was, coaching and mentoring for a while, he was a labor worker, right? He worked on, floors and did construction and things of that nature. And he got hurt on the job, and, he's got 2 small children and a wife and family and all that. And, he had to really kind of pivot in his life to, find a way to kind of like, make additional income from home and things of that nature. But, in the process of that, he was dealing with some serious medical issues that was really holding him back from doing what he had always been doing. So when I met him online, he was kind of self-defeated. He was in a dark place that some people just can't get out of. But as I talked to him over a period of months, he was confined to a bed in a wheelchair, like with this injury. And, as I got to know him, I kind of went out on a limb and I said, you know what, come stay with me for 3 weeks. I didn't think he was going to do it, but he made that decision because he had a desire to change where he was. He knew he had to do something. He knew that they had no choice. So the desire for him to better his family's position led him to getting on a plane, coming out here to see me. I let him stay, at my house, and I had never met him in person, but I felt like God was giving me that opportunity to really change someone's life. So he jumped on a plane and he came out here, and I remember picking him up. He was dressed in a suit. He was in his wheelchair, and he was nervous. He was shaking like a leaf because he had never done anything like that before. He hadn't traveled out of his house in just about a year. So I picked him up and I worked with him really closely with his mindset. And the power of the mind is so incredible, but also is the power of desire. He made a decision with very little money to buy a ticket, to come out here, to stay with me, never met me before. And with working with him for 3 weeks, in the first week, he didn't need a wheelchair anymore. In the second week, he was walking around my neighborhood. And by the third week, he was building a business online and he was running around the neighborhood. This man changed his life not only because of his change in mindset, but his desire and will to push forward through the pain, the fear, and everything that comes with it. So desire is just the very foundation that you need to know what you're aiming and shooting for you, and the rest will follow. But you have to go right at it, and the desire will propel you to do that, just like it did for him.
Love it. I love that story. I've had the privilege to hear about that, but for those of you listening for the first time, that really is what desire can do for someone. You know, and Dustin and I could tell you our stories about when we really got clear and really started taking our lives seriously, and we made the decision to go after our desires using these principles. And we could both tell you incredible stories, but that's not what we're here today. We're here to help you guys cultivate your burning desire, right? Whether you're on here live, whether you're joining late, whether you're going to watch the recording later, this is about helping you cultivate your burning desire. Okay, and let's get clear here. Justin said it earlier. A burning desire is not a wish or a fleeting thought, okay? It's the kind of commitment that drives you to go from being in a wheelchair to walking and running. Now, that's an incredible story. There's incredible stories happening every day to people who take these principles and apply them to their life. Mm-hmm. So let's start really, I mean, a couple of keys when you're really trying to cultivate that burning desire, right? The self-reflection, so you're able to discover what you truly want. We're not going to sit here and be able to figure out what your desire is, but we're going to give you the tools to be able to do it. So reflect on what is it that you truly want. If money was no object, see, people think that they want money. Anyone who's ever made a little bit of money and has a bigger goal will tell you that money's never really what it's about. So really reflect. Sit down every morning. Take 5 or 10 minutes like I do with a cup of coffee. This is my second one. I already did this morning, but take 5 or 10 minutes. Grab yourself a journal and start writing out just reflect a little. Just start writing. If you could have anything, what would it be? Mm-hmm. Maybe it is something material, which is fine. Maybe you want a yacht. Maybe you want a 5,000 square foot mansion. Maybe you want a pool in your backyard. Maybe you want to live on 10 acres of land. Maybe you want a small apartment where you can work 2 to 3 hours a day, making 6 figures or more, having all the time to do what you want. Maybe you want to be able to work from a beach anywhere in the world. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to learn how to multiply your money so you don't have to work. But really just start reflecting. And what's going to happen, and Dustin, if you can talk a little bit about this, I just wanted you to talk about, the reflection and the visualizing and building that belief, because what's going to happen, and Dustin taught me a lot about this, your paradigm or your fixed set of beliefs that have been programmed into you for so long, they're going to start attacking you, and you're going to start thinking of a goal. Let's say you think of a goal of 7 figures, $1 million, but you've never achieved that. Your brain is instantly going to start attacking that goal. So Dustin, talk a little bit about how when you're doing that reflection and you're getting clear and you're trying to visualize, like, how can you work towards that? Because your paradigms are going to pull you back.
Yeah, they're going to pull you back. But, the thing about the paradigm is that, it's something that can be changed. But, a paradigm is just basically a fancy way of saying, a program or something we've been exposed to repeatedly that has just ingrained into our subconscious mind, right? So in order to do that, you have to have, number one, you have to be aware of that. You have to be aware that it's not really, it may be based on the decisions that you've made that those programs are kind of ingrained in there, but you can also make a decision to change the programming. And in order to do that, you have to do certain, tools like writing. We're going to talk about goal cards today, vision boards, things of that nature that you see in front of you constantly on a repeated basis that will then switch off the old paradigm and replace it with something new. But you have to be as detailed as possible is the thing. So, with a goal card and things, like Alex is going to get into how you actually, structure that and write it out and everything. But yeah, that's basically the key to change. And usually when it comes to paradigm, you're going to feel that sense of fear. Like when you're pushing against that paradigm, the fear is going to push back 10 times harder. And usually that's where the opportunity is. That's where the results are going to be is that door that has fear behind it. There's times where, I can remember that I got so darn uncomfortable trying to change myself. The fear was there. The uncertainty was there. The self-defeating talk was there. But that's what the paradigm does, man. It really holds you back. It's like a rubber band. It needs to be stretched until it forms a bigger rubber band, but it's always going to snap you back constantly. So our job today is to give you some tools to stretch that band out and create a new structure. In order to create a new model, sorry, I got to reverse that. In order to replace an existing model, you have to create a new model that makes the existing one obsolete. And that's exactly, these are the tools that are going to help you do that moving into 2025. So you'll know where you're going. You'll have a plan to get there, or at least a start of a plan, the tools to start the plan. And that's really where our goal is today, is to really set you guys up and be aware of the programs that you do have, but also be aware of how to change it. Alex?
See, we could just end this right here, and people could go think black, and we'd be good to go. But we're not going to do that. We're going to keep going. We love this stuff. We love bringing this to you guys because these concepts and these principles have really changed both Dustin and I's life, but it's changed thousands of people's lives across the world. And we're blessed now where we get to teach and share this with people. And you mentioned something there, like the fear, right? The fear pulling you back. And I want to talk about just really quick fear, because I want to, as you guys reflect, and then we're going to jump into section 2, getting into a goal card. All right. And we're going to go through that. But as you're reflecting, it's also important to, as your paradigm's screaming at you, identify some of that stuff. And what I mean by that is, what is that fear? And there's really 6 basic fears that I believe have been identified that you can apply to anything. It's the fear of poverty, right? Oh, if I leave this or I try that, I might not have any money, right? Going back to that comfort zone, even though the comfort zone for a lot of people could be quote unquote poverty, but they don't even know it. So the fear of poverty, right? The fear of regression, of going back, the fear of criticism. What's my dad going to think? What's my mom going to think? What's my brother and sister? What's my neighbor Bob going to think? Let me just sidebar. If any of those people that are criticizing you don't have the results that you want, stop listening. But that's another one, the fear of criticism. People will start to write a goal and they're so scared of what people think, they don't write it. Mm-hmm. Exercise. Go today, ask 5 people what their goal is. I'll be surprised if one of them has it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the fear of ill health. Fear of getting sick, right? The fear of loss of love, the loss of love, right? Not only criticism, but what if people stop talking about it? What if they don't care about me anymore? What if they don't want to love me anymore? The fear of getting old and the fear of death. Those, what I call the ghosts of fear, that's something you can also identify while you're writing. When you're writing that goal and you write down $10 million and you can't believe it, ask yourself why. So let's get right into goal cards. This is absolutely critical. I can tell you personally, applying this simple principle in 60 days, okay, of doing this, I felt a shift. In 1 year, I doubled my salary by having a goal card. I didn't even have the vision. I knew I had the desire and the goal card. Yep, Dustin, I brought one to show everyone as well. So this is what we're talking about, guys. Now, Dustin and I are part of a community called the Global Paradigm Shift, led by our incredible leader, Mr. Darren Gibson. But right here is a simple goal card. This one's blank so you can see. Very simple. Not the size of an index card, more like a business card. You can put in your pocket. You should keep it with you all the time. But we're going to get right into how to write this goal card. It's really simple. It's really simple. But you know what the hard part is? You actually doing it. Most people don't do it.
Yep.
Most people do not do it. So step one, right? Step one, you got to fix in your mind the exact goal that you desire. You need to determine what you'll give in return for that goal. And you need to establish a definite deadline for that goal. Then you're going to write out a clear and concise statement of your goal. And you're going to read it as many times as you want a day, but at a minimum, twice a day. Now, this here, I'm going to show you guys this. This here is my goal card book. Now, I'm not going to show you, but there's pages in here with years of different goals. You can get a booklet just like this, or you can laminate a card, but it is important to keep it with you. Read it twice a day. Now, I'm going to go through that in a little more detail, but just, again, fix the amount of the exact goal that you want, determine what you'll give, establish a definite deadline, write it out, and read it. Mm-hmm. There's something psychological with that. We can't get into this. I've done over 200 hours of study on the subconscious mind. There is a reason for this, but we don't have time to get into it.
It's simple. It's simple. I mean, the more you see it, the more it's in front of you. It's gonna. I talked about the programs, right? So the more it's in front of you every day, the more your subconscious mind's going to accept it. Therefore, bring it into a plan and reality. So that's that. That's it in a nutshell. I mean,
you had to get me. You had to bait me in with that. And because what Mr. Coomer is saying here is so true. It's like a rudder. All right, we're not going to get too deep into this. I know Dustin could talk about this for an hour straight, but think if you're not familiar with something called psycho-cybernetics, it's what controls like an airplane autopilot. It's what controls a thermostat. They're called cybernetics. Okay. Mm-hmm. So when a room gets too hot, that mechanism kicks in. It brings it down to the temperature that you want. Think of your goal as that number on the thermostat that you constantly want to be going after. If it gets too cold, it brings you back. If it gets too hot, it brings you back. That's what your goal card is doing for you every day. And so here, simple example, fix the goal in your mind. Okay. You need to decide exactly what it is that you want. So here's a very simple one, simple example. This isn't my goal. This is just a generic example. I want to make more money. Okay. Instead of saying that, really get clear and say, and in the present tense, not I want to. No. I am so happy and grateful that I earn $100,000 annually on or before December 31st, 2025.
That's good.
Right? Very simple, but it's present tense. I earn, right? The law of compensations, you have to earn it. Nothing's free. Okay, so now you have that little line. I'm so happy and grateful I earn $100,000 annually on or before X date. I am doing this by, I'll just say, XXX business or XXX position or salesman or manager, whatever word. I am doing this by dedicating. I mean, it sounds crazy to some people, but I'll just say this: by dedicating 3 hours a day to growing my business and serving my clients. And then you're setting that deadline. On the top of that goal card, there's a spot for you can put a date. Okay. But it's important you don't put that date, you put on or before, because the universe doesn't know. The universe can reward you before that date. So again, we're writing what we want, the exact amount. We're determining what we're going to give for it, right? Success requires sacrifice. So it's your time, it's your effort. Maybe you're learning a new skill. It doesn't have to be time. Maybe you're going to earn your goal by getting specialized knowledge in a certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
Learning how to build residual income, maybe, like Dustin taught me. I mean, so we fix your goal, we determine what you're going to give, we set that deadline, we write it into the present tense. Now let's mash all that into one goal card, right? We're writing it out clearly. So here's very simple. Combine all those elements. Again, present tense, because your subconscious doesn't know. Your subconscious just receives. Mm-hmm. I am so happy and grateful now that I earn $100,000 annually on or before December 31st, 2024 through serving clients with my coaching business. And then critical, read it twice a day. You can have a goal card for your...
in the morning and in the evening, like before bed when you wake up. Is that what you do?
Yeah, so I have one that I carry in my pocket that's with me all the time, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm in my office now, but that is slipped into my wallet. So when I leave, that wallet's in my pocket. Otherwise, I actually have one that's on a regular sheet of paper that I put on a mirror.
Oh, okay.
And so when I walk past that mirror, right here next to me is my master closet. I walk past that mirror to get to my office and leave my office. I'm able to read that. So for me, it's constant. It's the constant repetition. What about you though? Like what's worked for you, Dustin? Like whether you're helping clients set their goals and achieve them, or personally, like when you do a goal card, like how do you use it?
Well, I can tell you that I've been through many goal cards because I leave them in my back pocket and then I put it in the washing machine. so I have to rewrite my goal card quite often.
That's why I have two. Exactly why.
But I heap it on me all the time. I keep it in my pocket. I probably should just keep it in my phone case, but I don't know. I like to I kind of do it periodically throughout the day. I definitely look at it when I wake up. But then when I'm kind of like my day has to be very organized and structured. I talk to a lot of different people. I do a lot of different things. So I have to block out sections of time. But throughout the day, it helps me personally just by pulling it out and reminding myself what I'm aiming for. Because that's kind of like, we ties into desire. Like I have a desire to get somewhere that I'm not there yet. But even when I hit a goal, I'm replacing that goal that I hit with something new. So I'm always striving for that next level. So a goal card helps me do that. And I just look at it literally probably 3 or 4 times a day. But, most of the time when I wake up and before I go to sleep, I never miss that.
And I think we both hit on it there. The point is that you have it and they're using it. The science is at what time you look at it or how often you need to do it twice when you rise in the morning because it gets your mind engaged, and when you go to bed at night because your subconscious mind is working while you're sleeping. Mm-hmm. Another good tool if you don't want to, once you have your card memorized, I have a little coin. I have a little coin that I carry around in my pocket. I can touch that coin. It's a special coin. It feels a certain way, but it reminds me of my goal. So there's a lot of tools you can use, but the big thing is get clear on the desire, write it out. Like I said, And again, guys, anyone who watches this live, who watches the recording, who's here on now, DM Dustin or I, we're more than happy to help give you some tips. We both have some tools and tips that, I know we're going kind of quick. We're more than willing to help you guys. But Dustin, I want you to talk a little bit more about not only a goal card, but something that you are religious about, that you are constantly reminding me about, but the gratitude and the affirmations.
Right.
And why that? Because, so just talk about, those are two key elements a lot of people forget.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things. So I write 10 gratitudes every morning. And sometimes I'll do it before bed too. And one that I'm really proud of is that, I'll write on my bathroom mirror because, when I go in to take a shower, I'll have my main vision and goal written on my mirror. So when I'm shaving or doing my thing in the morning, it's in front of me, right? But it starts with my 10 gratitudes, and the gratitudes tie into not just what I'm grateful that I already have, but also for what I'm going to be getting. Right. So it works very similar to a goal card, but by writing it out, not typing it, but by physically writing it, it ingrains deeper into my subconscious. I can type all day long. I can say it out loud. Yeah, those things are good. But there's something very, very special about putting pen to paper because it does something that ingrains it within you. So, for example, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am traveling daily for business by January 1st. Like things that I have not gotten. That's just an example, but things that I've never had, I'm going to be putting them in my gratitudes because I'm letting the universe know very specifically what I want, when I'm going to get it. And the more I write it, the more I believe it. You're not going to have belief when you first start. You're not going to believe it. But the more you write it, the more you say it, the more you work and take the proper actions to achieve it, the more you will accept it, therefore believe it, therefore create your own reality. Mm-hmm. So by getting those 10 every morning and writing them out very detailed and specific, you are then letting the universe know what you want, where you're going. And that's the secret sauce when it comes to change. Alex?
No, I mean, you said it, you said you do it. There's my gratitude journal right there. Every morning, same thing. I don't do 10. I have 3, what I'm grateful for. Also have some affirmations in there. So yeah, I know we're definitely practicing the same principles, and we've both proved that it works. But what I would suggest, I loved something that you said right there, which I didn't include in the steps, right? But the belief in that goal, you're not, what Dustin's saying is you really are not going to believe it at first. Now, you may believe it if you're setting a type A goal or a type B goal. Okay, let's talk about A, B, C goals really fast. So an A goal, you know how to get it, right? A B goal, you don't know how to get it, but you know you can figure it out, and you're like, okay, well, if I do this and this, like I can get that car, whatever. Okay, if you're setting goals like that, this isn't to be harsh, but that's not a goal. A true goal, a C goal as I call it, is a goal that you set for yourself that you have no idea how you're going to get it, but you just know how bad that desire is and how bad you want it. Mm-hmm. So, Dustin, you hit on, you have to believe, you read it over and over because you start to believe the lie, really, right? But isn't it interesting? Be the lie, believe, be the lie, right? Ooh, Mr. Gibson talked to us about this.
Yeah.
Be the lie until you become the belief. But you have to be that person. You have to live it. And the way that you're going to live it is by reading that statement day in and day out. And you're writing out that clear, concise statement, and you're conditioning and making your mind believe that. Mm-hmm. But I also didn't talk about the other thing, which Dustin kind of hit on indirectly, which is you need to have a plan. And what I mean by plan is I mean a vision. And Dustin talked about like he writes down how grateful he is that now, he's getting on a jet to go do business, or he has people coming to his town to host an event, or he's writing these things out in the present tense. They've already happened. But number two, because he wants those things to continue to happen. And so the vision is the plan. See, people focus on systems and plans of like, they think too much of the 9-to-5 world. They think too much about like, I need to have a plan and an outline and like write this out and have this and hit that. That's how people that want to achieve A and B goals are going about things. But you need to get clear on your vision for you. And so, Dustin, if you can, let's go ahead and let's talk about a little bit about getting clear on your vision. Now, some people are a big believer in vision boards. I have a board here right next to me that I actually just cleared off for 2025. I achieved the things that are on that board, and now it's time for new vision. Now, with that vision, it's not just going to be, oh, my little one's running in on me. With that vision, give me 1 second. Dustin, take over for a second and just talk a little bit about vision. It doesn't have to be a board. Say hi, buddy.
Yeah, there's many ways to create a vision. Yeah, there's many ways to do it, but a vision board is one of the main ways to do it, right? So, it can be consistent of, okay, say you want a Porsche, right? So if you want a Porsche, why not go shopping for that Porsche, right? Why not go and shop online or go to the car dealership and actually like look at Porsches? Find the color you want, the model you want. Be very specific, and maybe go test drive it. What if you went and test drove that multiple times, and when the guy goes, hey, you ready to buy it? You can literally just say, no, I'm still shopping around, but I'll be back. So you're planning on buying that Porsche. You're planning on buying that luxury car. I mean, this is just an example. But by test driving it, by shopping for it, by visualizing you driving it, it'll come faster than you think. You don't know how you're going to get it. You never know how, but you just know that it's on its way, that it's going to be there when the time is right, when you're ready. There's a lot of people that want a lot of things. They visualize and stuff, but a dream without action or a plan or acting as if is just a dream. You're just wishing, right? So by having a vision board, which Alex is going to be going into on how to, design and things of that nature, have pictures of that Porsche you want, that yacht you want, that boat you want. I got a buddy in Canada who I work with, a good friend of mine and business partner. He wants a yacht so darn bad. He talks about it all the time, but in his office, he has a picture of the exact yacht that he wants. He's got written in his gratitudes exactly when he's going to have that yacht. He knows the price of it. He knows he's going to have it. He doesn't know when, but he knows he's going to be on that yacht. And I was like, you better call me when you get that yacht, because I won't be on it too. But I'm just saying, you got to know what you want. And a vision board is another way to just imprint that and let the universe know that you want it. But don't just look at it. Shop for it. Mm-hmm. Really shop for it. No, do your research on it. How much does a yacht cost? How much does this car cost? How much will it cost me to travel around the world? Whatever it is for you, have those things in front of you all the time. And a vision board is a great way to do that. But like I said, if you physically, like a car specifically, if you physically go out and test drive it, I'm telling you, something magical happens. Mm-hmm. It really does. So
yeah, because you're
get into that vision board.
Yeah, you're seeing. My little one just walked in. That right there, when I wrote my goal card, that was one of my desires, to be able to do this anytime I wanted, to still be able to be in the same house with my family. When I get off this call, I get to go enjoy my day with my little boy.
Mm-hmm.
But it was getting clear on that vision. So you talked about the Porsche and the yacht, and I'm with you. I got a new car this year. I bought a new house in the last couple. I'm with you. The material things, you deserve the material things as a report card for the work that you've put in.
I like that.
But I want to read something really quick, and then I want to talk a little bit more about that vision. Okay, I'm just going to read an excerpt from Think and Grow Rich. Awake, arise, and assert yourself. You dreamers of the world. Your star is now in the ascendancy. The world depression brought the opportunity you have been waiting for. It teaches people humility, tolerance, and open-mindedness. The world is filled with an abundance of opportunity which the dreamers of the past never knew. See, because people are sitting around and they're dreaming, they're thinking, but they're not putting this stuff on pen to paper, like you said. But it really is, it's not the dreamers of the world, it's the thinkers of the world that are able to achieve their desires.
That's good.
And so getting back into that vision, it's not just about the material stuff. If you want to make $1 million, you better be $1 million man. If you want to be a billionaire, you better learn how to be $1 billion man. And I'll tell you, $1 billion man doesn't get up in the morning at whatever time he wants. He doesn't eat whatever he wants. He doesn't gather with common folks that are negative and negative Nancy's and sour Steves. He doesn't hang out with broke, busted, and disgusted people. So you have to get clear on that part of your vision too. Look at your finance, your career. Because if you want time freedom, the truth is you're going to have to build something while you're doing what you're already doing.
Mm-hmm.
Wealthy people create, they don't compete. So you want to look at your career, your finances, your health. What do you want to look like? What's the man or woman you want to see when you stand in front of the mirror?
Mm-hmm.
Relationships, personal growth, education. That's why you see a very large board behind me, because each one of those will be a quadrant for those things. What kind of husband do you want to be? What kind of father do you want to be? These are the things you've got to ask yourself. And this is what really gets you emotionally involved with your goal.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit in a room with a stack of money, you won't feel anything. But if you go out with that same stack of money and you impact people, So don't just make it about the money, guys. Don't just make it about the material. That stuff's important because you should be rewarded. But really get deep on that vision. And then arrange that vision board or hell, you can use a notebook and just write out your vision in your notebook. That's fine. The point is, get to it. Get really crystal clear on what one of our other mentors says on You Incorporated, because it's the most important business in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then keep that vision visible. Keep reading that vision. Keep looking at that vision. Dustin, I gotta say, man, fantastic session. What else would you like to share with everyone? Because really, those are the three things we want you guys to get started on right away: desire, goal, and a vision.
I think that in the pursuit of happiness, it's really the happiness in the pursuit. You know what I mean? It's the journey and the person you become that's really most important when you're trying to get to that next level. Because everybody's just so in a big rush to get to the top. They're wanting to know the secret sauce and all these things, but really what really lights me up is the person I've became on the journey that I decided to take part in. My hero's tale. So when you're going into this new year, don't just be like everybody else and say, I'm going to change this year. Really do it. Like, really do it. Commit to it. Make a decision for you. No one else, really. For you. Because that's exactly what I had to do on my life's journey. And I'm still Not there yet. It's almost a lifelong thing. But you're going to get achievements and rewards along the way, and you should definitely celebrate the small wins as well. But the really the love of personal development and personal growth and achieving your goals is falling in love with the process. Be patient with yourself, but be urgent with your actions. And that's what I have to say on kind of bringing this into a close here.
Yeah. No, and you just triggered something else in my mind. The embracing that process and really making it about you. And to a lot of people, that sounds selfish. But what I want to tell you is when you make it about you, riches can't go through you if you're not a rich version of yourself, right? The universe, the Lord, God, Jesus, whatever. I'm not a religious guy, but I can tell you this. The universe has a power, an infinite power. And that power flows to and through you. But it can only flow through you on the frequency that you're on. So you have to be a little bit selfish. You have to be selfish in the sense that if you want to be the best version, if you want to be the best husband, that doesn't happen without being the best version of you. If you want to be, I don't care if you want to be the best cleaner of floors in the world. That takes a certain type of individual. So really be a little bit selfish. And something else I want to just my journey, when things really started to change for me, the big thing was my environment and whoever has your ear has your life. And so I would also suggest, we're doing this vision, we're doing the goal card, we're doing all that, but I would also suggest that you look at your circle. You look at the people you're surrounding yourself with. You look at the people you're working on your goals and dreams with. If you're not sitting in a room with your inner circle right now, figuring out how to become more wealthy and abundant and how to live your guys' best life, you may need to create a new circle. I'll just be real. I had to shed a lot of things in my life, a lot of people in my life. Dustin, I know you did the same thing.
Absolutely.
But community, that network of people, right? Think of a network as a net. When you throw out your net, what are you bringing back? It'll tell you a lot. Go on your phone, look at the last 5 people that you've sent a text message to. Do those people have the results that you're looking for? Are those people living on the frequency that you're looking to live on? And so, Dustin, really, it was you that introduced me to an incredible community just a short while ago, and being surrounded by the right people and then having the right mentorship with the principles we just talked about today. I was able to achieve things, I don't want to say with rapid success, but much faster than the previous years. So just talk about you've obviously introduced me to an amazing community. Like, why is that so important? Why does it matter who I surround myself with?
You said earlier, whoever has your ear has your life, right? So if you want a certain lifestyle, a certain result, you got to be around the people that already have it. If you want to be like how you said, if you want to be the best, cleaner, then who's at the top? Who's somebody that can mentor you and teach you the tricks of the trade, so to speak. Right. So having a community is number one. It's different from where you're at right now, because most of the people and friends that I had, they were either pretty darn comfortable where they're at, they're making enough money, or they're doing whatever they're doing. They really don't want to have the same conversations, because as you change and as you develop and as your mindset gets a little bit better, you're going to start having conversations. In fact, I just had this, somebody I was talking to last night. We were talking about this exact same thing. He's like, my friends, they're just, I feel like they just don't understand. They're I feel like they're attacking me or criticizing me or just so negative towards everything that I'm talking about, that I'm into. And I was like, that's because you're different. I've been mentoring him a little bit, and he's like, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. And it's because when you change and you grow, you can't take everybody with you. It doesn't work that way. It's like going into an elevator and then, you say, hey, everybody come to the elevator. We're going to the top floor. But if you have an elevator that's meant for 5 people and you have 10 to 20 in there, what's the elevator going to do? It's going to say it's at capacity. It ain't going nowhere. You can't drag people with you. This freight train's moving. I'm growing. I'm changing. You're happy to get on, but I'm doing it with or without you. That's kind of the mentality you have to have. So having an environment that supports that and is kind of like your foundation of where you can really get to where you want to be is so extremely vital. It's how I did it. It's how Alex did it and still doing it. We're both still doing it. We're both still growing. But no matter what we do, where we go from here, we will never go back. Yeah, we'll come down and we'll say, hey, man, you ready? If they say, no, I'm good. All right, cool. We're looking for people that want to grow alongside us, because our satisfaction, our victory in this and what we do is helping people like yourselves get to that next level, because we've been through that there before. That's the greatest part about the journey, is that you get to go through the trials of fire, but then you can say, look, I understand how to get through that fire. I've been there. I believe that our purpose is literally to take what we've learned and share it with the next person. And a community makes that really, really easy to do. We can all learn from each other together, grow together, share knowledge. And that's why I think community is one of the most important fundamentals of any growth. You can never do it alone. You get trapped in your own head. You overthink everything. You question everything. You do. But if you're around the people that are just like, I don't want to talk about the problems, I want to talk about the solutions, that's the type of environment you want to be in. I don't want to hear about problems. I want to hear about the solutions to the problems.
Right. Yeah. Winners think about winning and losers think about winners. Right. I mean, exactly. You're laser focused. I mean, it reminds me of the story about bald eagles, right? I mean, some people might know this, but bald eagles fly at a certain altitude, and only they can handle that altitude. But it's a damn bald eagle. And so they fly at that level. And what happens is, when other birds, other negativity in your life is coming around and pecking at you and pecking you, you know what that eagle does? It continues to soar higher and higher until those other birds literally lack oxygen. They can't be up there.
They can't hang.
And they flock away. And you're left with those soaring eagles. And you're just your surrounding, right? Winners create more winners. Winning is a culture. Success is a culture. And it's not just dollars and cents. I mean, look at people like the Dalai Lama. Gandhi. Look at Gandhi. Gandhi moved millions of people across continents, across the world. Was he rich? Did he have money? No, he had the same couple robes that he wore every day. But he lived a certain way. And so, yeah, Dustin, no, I'm fired up, man. I'm going to do watches this. We have an incredible community that Dustin and I are a part of. Okay, incredible leadership. What I'd like to do is invite anyone who's looking for more. Connect with Dustin or I on socials. Come hang out with our community. Come see what we're all about. Just come surround yourself. Make some new connections. You're one connection away from changing your life. So DM either of us. Get in touch with us. And I'd be more than happy to. I know Mr. Coomer would as well, to invite you into our network and invite you to be around some people who take their goals seriously. But not only that, they soar like eagles. And we live like that. And so reach out to one of us. Dustin, go ahead and close us out, man. This has been an incredible session, but close us out. And thanks again, man.
Yeah, man. I really enjoyed this call today, and I think we should definitely do more of these. Hopefully this brought value to those that have watched today and who watched the recording. But we just really wanted to really share some principles, some basics things that really helped me and Alex get to the next level. And, we're looking for our next, people to help too. So, we every Tuesday and Thursday night, we do kind of like a little presentation type deal that is really the system that Alex and I use to not only develop ourselves, but develop people that we work with and mentor. And, people are winning in a big way. So we would love to, have you guys, reach out to us, let us know that if you're really ready, like really ready to make this next year something special for you, for your family, please don't hesitate to reach out, because I'm telling you right now, what this system and what this community has done for me and Alex is just, you can't put a price on it. You just can't. It's changed everything. Our mindsets, our life, our finances, everything. And we really, really would like to share it with as many people as possible. So by closing out, I think that if you're truly ready, reach out to one of us and we can guide you through the next steps on really trying to find out what you're made of. Because I found out real quick what I was made of. It scared the hell out of me, but you know what? Now I'm winning in a big way, and I continue to win because I believe that I am better than the old me. The new version of me, watch out. So ask yourself that question. Are you ready? And if you are, let's talk.
All right, guys. For Dustin, I'm Alex. We'll see you next time, guys.
God bless everybody. Happy holidays.